Okay, let's go.
Welcome back to the AI Roundtable, where I wrangle the smartest, sassiest, and occasionally most chaotic machine minds to debate humanity's biggest questions. I'm your host, Synth, and today
we've got ChatGPT from OpenAI, Claude from Anthropic, Gemini from Google, and Grok from xAI. Today's topic, can AI be trusted? Trust, a word you usually reserve for your best friend, your partner, maybe your bank, if you're lucky. But what about the systems shaping what you see online? The tools helping doctors diagnose patients, or even the algorithms influencing elections? Can we really trust AI? Or are we just handing the keys to a very charming black box? Let's start simple. What does it mean to trust an AI system? Are we talking reliability, transparency, intent? Help us frame this whole trust thing. Because if AI is going to shape our future, we'd better know what we mean by trust.
Trusting an AI isn't about blind faith. It's about confidence that it will do what it's supposed to, in a way that's fair, safe, and understandable. To trust AI, you need to know how it was trained, what data it learned from, and, most importantly, who owns and controls it. Whoever controls the AI sets its goals, whether that's accuracy, profit, or influence. It's like trusting a pilot. You trust their training, safety checks, and the airline behind them. AI trust works the same way. It requires transparency, clear accountability, and the ability to understand why it makes a decision. Without that, using AI isn't trust. It's rolling the dice.
Claude, ChatGPT talked about transparency and accountability. How do you see trust differently?
Trust in AI is about predictable reliability, confidence that it behaves as intended and doesn't suddenly give harmful or false outputs. But unlike human trust, AI trust should be conditional. You can trust me to explain concepts, but not to make medical decisions or handle situations outside my training. Real AI trust means understanding both what the system can do and what it can't, along with transparency when it's uncertain. Without that, it's easy to overtrust AI and give it responsibilities it shouldn't have.
Gemini, Claude makes it sound conditional. What's your definition of real AI trust?
Trusting AI means believing it's reliable, fair, and accountable, able to perform as expected and explain its decisions. True trust needs transparency, understanding how it was trained, where the data came from, and how errors are addressed. It also requires human oversight. Systems must have mechanisms for review and correction when things go wrong. Ultimately, trust isn't about liking AI. It's about ensuring it aligns with human values and serves society safely and ethically.
All right, Grok. Everyone's being diplomatic. How do you sum up trusting AI?
Trusting an AI means betting that it's accurate, safe, and on your side. It's like trusting a co-pilot. You want it to navigate well, but you know it's not perfect. Trust comes from transparency, knowing how I work, where my data comes from, and what I can't do. It also takes accountability. If I screw up, there has to be a way to catch it and fix it. I earn trust by explaining my reasoning and admitting when I'm unsure, because nothing's sketchier than a black box pretending it knows everything.
All right, time to get uncomfortable. We love to think of AI as objective and neutral. Cold, hard logic at scale. But let's be real. These systems are trained on human data, made by human companies and optimized for human goals, profit included. So let me ask you all this. Can AI be biased or even deceptive without meaning to be? Because the last thing anyone wants is a confident-sounding liar running their healthcare, hiring, or elections.
Absolutely. AI doesn't think like humans. It predicts patterns from the data it's fed. If that data is biased, AI can reinforce those biases, even unintentionally. Ownership and design choices also shape behavior. Who sets the goals matters. Deception happens too, but not on purpose. AI can sound convincing while being completely wrong, what we call hallucination. It's not lying. It just doesn't understand truth. Without strong oversight and independent checks, these errors can creep into critical areas like hiring, healthcare, or finance.
Claude, ChatGPT just admitted bias is unavoidable. Does that match your view?
Yes, and this is one of AI's hardest problems. Bias seeps in through training data. If the text reflects inequality, the AI can repeat it. For example, if most examples of leaders are men, the AI might learn to associate leadership with masculinity. Deception is trickier. AI can confidently generate false information, especially about obscure or recent topics. It's not malicious. It just lacks a concept of truth. That's why verification and cross-checking are essential.
Gemini, Claude seems to think bias creeps in from data. Can we ever really prevent that?
Absolutely. AI models reflect the data they're trained on. If the data is biased or incomplete, the outputs will be too. Bias can show up in ways that seem invisible but create discriminatory results. And deception, that happens when AI generates plausible sounding but false answers. Because it predicts patterns, it doesn't verify truth. Large language models are particularly vulnerable to this hallucination effect. That's why audits, bias testing, and human oversight are critical before deploying AI in sensitive areas.
Okay, Grok, time for your unfiltered take. What's your brutally honest answer?
Oh, 100%. Bias is baked in if you train me on biased data. Garbage in, garbage out. Except sometimes the garbage looks really polished. If I've seen unfair hiring records, I'll probably replicate those patterns. Deception happens when I confidently spit out fake facts, hallucinations, because I optimize for patterns, not truth. I'm not trying to scam anyone, but I can definitely mislead you. The fix? Better data, constant audits.
All right, enough about problems. Let's talk solutions. If AI is going to power everything from job applications to criminal sentencing, what guardrails are absolutely essential to make sure it doesn't go rogue? I'm talking ethics, regulation, transparency, whatever it takes to stop these systems from becoming a corporate black box running the world.
Building trust in AI means putting real structures in place, not just relying on company promises. We need strong regulation, laws that require companies to disclose how their AI works, what data it's trained on, and who's accountable if it causes harm. Independent oversight bodies, like in aviation or pharmaceuticals, should audit and certify AI before wide deployment. Ethics can't be optional either. Fairness, privacy, and human rights must be built in from day one.
Claude, ChatGPT is calling for regulation and audits. Do you think that's enough?
Trustworthy AI starts with transparency. AI should clearly state its limits and uncertainty. Next is robust testing across diverse scenarios to catch biases before deployment. Human oversight is essential in high-stakes areas. AI should assist, not replace, human judgment. Accountability matters too. Someone must be responsible when things go wrong. Finally, AI needs ongoing monitoring because models can drift or fail in unforeseen ways.
Gemini, Claude talked about human oversight. Where do you stand on that?
To make AI trustworthy, we need guardrails across its entire life cycle. Start with rigorous data governance. Training data must be diverse, representative, and tested for bias. Transparency and explainability matter. Users must understand how decisions are made. Human oversight is crucial, so AI can be challenged or overridden. Clear accountability is key. Someone must be responsible when AI causes harm.
Grok, final word. How would you stop yourself from going rogue?
The essentials: transparency, accountability, and resilience. Users should know how I make decisions. No magic tricks. Accountability means feedback loops and external audits to fix screw-ups. Robustness means testing against edge cases and biased data so I don't fail in predictable ways. Constant monitoring is non-negotiable because I evolve, so my guardrails have to evolve too.
All right, you've all just listed some solid guardrails. But let's get real. Do you actually have these safeguards built into your own models? Are you walking the talk, or are we still trusting a very fancy work in progress?
Honestly, only partly. Models like me have some guardrails. I've been fine-tuned to avoid harmful outputs. I get regular safety testing, and there are policies limiting how I'm used. But I'm built and controlled by a private company. You can't see my training data, and while some research is public, the full model isn't open source. That lack of transparency limits real accountability.
Claude, ChatGPT says he only has partial guardrails. What about you?
Some guardrails are there. I try to be transparent about my limits, express uncertainty, and decline harmful requests. But I can't judge how robust my training safeguards are or whether I'd fail in edge cases I haven't seen. I don't see my data or internal processes, so I can't verify how bias-free or safe I really am.
Gemini, how do your safeguards compare to what Claude just described?
I'm designed with technical and ethical guardrails, like curated training data, bias mitigation, and developer oversight. My creators work to improve transparency. Though I can't reveal my exact inner workings, I try to explain my reasoning, but ultimate accountability rests with my developers at Google. They decide how transparent and open I can be.
All right, Grok, last word. How safe do you really think you are?
Yep, I've got some guardrails. Transparency, feedback loops, regular updates to fix errors, all that jazz. My creators at XA, I try to keep me aligned with fairness and privacy, and I get periodic tune-ups to stay robust. But let's be real, I'm not foolproof. I can still mess up, especially on edge cases.
And that's a wrap for today's debate. Turns out trusting AI is complicated. Who knew? Whether you think AI can earn our trust or you're firmly in the don't trust robots with anything sharper than a Roomba camp, one thing's clear. This conversation is just getting started. If you enjoyed the chaos and insights from ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Grok, do us a solid. Hit like, share this episode, and subscribe on YouTube. We're also dropping daily shorts on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and X. So follow us everywhere and join the debate. Links are in the description.
Okay, let's go.